Welcome into Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I know Brandon Aiyuk trade rumors have been going viral since he requested a trade out of San Francisco, but I want to hop on here and talk about 4 blockbuster trades I think the New England Patriots could actually make during training camp, ahead of training camp, that don't actually involve Brandon Aiyuk. So I wanted to break that down here on today's show. I am your host, Allie Barefoot, and the Patriots are obviously making several moves, whether it's internally, maybe even externally, picking up some players in free agency. So far, they had to make a lot of these extensions happen. You really wanted to make sure you locked down the guys that had a huge season last year. You got Kyle Duggar, Josh Uche, Anthony Jennings, Christian Barmore, really extending that defensive side of the ball, which has been the New England Patriots' primary source for this last season. But then, of course, locking up their biggest players like Ramondre Stevenson, David Andrews, making sure they got their veterans taken care of. But in my opinion, these are all necessary moves. I don't think Jerod Mayo has really made that big move that has solidified he's here. He is now the head coach of the New England Patriots. He's been extending, he's been re-signing, he's picked up some free agents, as he should. But I feel like he's one trade away from people being like, the Jerod Mayo era is finally here, and I'm really excited for it. So before I break down 4 possible trade targets I do think the Patriots would actually end up making, I want you guys to go ahead and comment down below, who should the Patriots trade for ahead of training camp? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. I want to talk about the defense. Although there is not many moves the Patriots need to make on defense because they're just spectacular in my eyes, let's talk about Jonathan Allen. I love Jonathan Allen, the man out of Bama. He's been dominant for the Washington Commanders, who also have a similar situation as the Patriots. Their offense, meh. Their defense, superb. And Allen is likely out of Washington after this season. There's a lot of new rebuilding going on in Washington, just like there is in the Patriots. So if he were to come over to New England, he wouldn't have to adjust that much. He's been through several head coaches while he's been in the Washington Commanders uniform, so now he'll have to adjust to a new head coach. Why would Washington trade away Jonathan Allen? Well, they got his right-hand man, Daron Payne, and he's a little bit cheaper, a little bit younger, so I could see them possibly splitting ways with Jonathan Allen, knowing they would save $15 million in cap space in order to give away this defensive menace. And there is no question the Patriots need help on the pass rush. I think Christian Barmore was excellent on the pass rush last year. Matthew Judon being injured, that really sucked. You don't necessarily have to trade away Matthew Judon either in order to get somebody like Jonathan Allen. So if you have Judon and you've got Allen on the pass rush, your defense just went from top 10 to top 5 in the NFL. That would be dominant, a 3-4 front right there. Why? Because Allen absorbs double team. This man is ginormous. And I know we're talking about the NFL here, but the way that Jonathan Allen just completely absorbs that hit, moves off it, and he even knows how to stuff the lanes, fill the gaps, Jonathan Allen is a headhunter. That's why I think teaming him up with Judon would, A, not only make Judon happier to come back for the New England Patriots if they do extend or offer a new contract extension that maybe he didn't like in the first place, but hey, we just brought Jonathan Allen. Okay, maybe he takes that first contract offer. Not to mention what Jonathan Allen brings here, according to Justin Mello, Draft Network, would be huge for the Patriots. New Patriots head coach Jerod Mayo is a defensive-minded leader who understands the importance of dominant play. The Patriots possess quality defensive linemen throughout their roster, but acquiring Allen would elevate them to the best in the league territory. Like I said, you go from top 10 to top 5 easily, adding Jonathan Allen to that 3 front for the New England Patriots. And this pick, it's not that terrible. Commanders would receive a 2025 second-round pick, and that is a little bit tough because the Patriots could possibly have a top 10 pick in the NFL draft next year. You don't want to give away that first-round draft pick, but possibly the second just to bolster that defense. It may be a lot, but Allen still has a lot to offer. A 2026 fifth-round pick as well, so you're moving on to 2 years from now. In the 5th, I mean, he's going to be a hot commodity if he does ever end up requesting a trade, or the Commanders are like, hey, man, we're taking calls. So it's going to take a lot, but it may not be as much for somebody like a Brandon Aiyuk. So let me know what you guys are thinking. Obviously, defense is not their top priority to adjust because they've been so great in the last year. But do you think the Patriots should bolster their defensive line? We know Devon Godchow, he's not happy with the contract right now. He's not the best nose tackle in the game. You got a great second-year player in Keon White. You got Christian Barmore, who just extended. But do they need to add something else? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let's go to the other side of the ball. Let's talk about Cortland Sutton. I know not a lot of people have been talking about Cortland because there have been so many receivers in the free agents and trade markets, especially with the most recent one being Brandon Aiyuk. But the Patriots do still need to bolster their wide receiver room. I like the potential talent that is there, but when you add a guy like Sutton, here's what you're going to be getting. 16 games played, he's reliable. 60 receptions, 772 yards, not necessarily a 1,000-yard receiver last year, but it's not terrible. This would still be the highest targeted and most reception of a wide receiver for the Patriots last year. Not to mention, he had 10 touchdowns, which was a career high for him, and he tied for 4th in the NFL for most touchdowns. That would be huge for the Patriots. And I do believe Sutton would be your automatic wide receiver 1. But he's not an Aiyuk wide receiver 1. He's not an A.J. Brown wide receiver 1. He would just become wide receiver 1 in a New England Patriots very questionable receiver room so far. But I do believe it still leaves room for growth in this very young, very intriguing receiver room. Whereas if you bring in Aiyuk, it's pretty much solidifying who's going to get almost every single target. With Sutton, it adds depth and it adds veteranship, but it does not completely rule out Jalen Polk, Pop Douglas, Kendrick Bourne, and all the other players who've been working their asses off in OTAs and minicamps to try and be that top wide receiver. The Patriots would have to give Cortland Sutton a new deal, which wouldn't be horrible, knowing they have one of the top cap spaces in the NFL. So once again, when you bring a guy in like Cortland Sutton, it doesn't overshadow everybody completely, but it does improve your wide receiver room pretty significantly in just one trade. But this is what it would take. This is why I'm actually okay with this, is that 2025 4th-round pick for a player like Cortland Sutton is not terrible. That way the Patriots can still get 3 good draft picks in before they have to pay up for what they would be getting to immediately enhance their offense, along with possibly adding Drake May in the backfield towards the beginning or the middle of the regular season. So what do you guys think? Do you guys like Sutton to come to the New England Patriots? I'm not opposed to it, to be honest. This is not as flashy as Aiyuk, but it does immediately help. If you would accept this trade, type A for accept, type D for decline. Let me know what you guys are thinking. If I'm crazy, let me know in the comment section down below. Or if there's another wide receiver you guys want to talk about, absolutely comment it down below. If you guys are heading to NFL training camp, I highly suggest taking advantage of this great deal on Fanatics right now. Use this link, chatsports.com/New England Combo. That's going to get you guys this great Patriots shirt along with a hat. Even when if you're not going to training camp, Gillette Stadium, Fenway, you never know when you guys need a rep Patriots gear. And I'm telling you right now, 40% off. I do not buy anything full price. It is my motto. So if you guys want to get this deal right now, which I'm probably going to get it for a special guy in my life, just go on ahead and get this Patriots hat/shirt combo 40% off using chatsports.com/New England Combo. If you guys have bad memory, I do, well, it'll be commented under this video. All you guys got to do is click the link. We'll do all the work for you guys. Get this deal while it lasts and while sizes last. Go on ahead and click it right now. All right, the third blockbuster trade target. I'm going to go with James Bradberry. Not a lot of people are talking about this guy right now, but it looks like he could possibly be a huge trade candidate for the Philadelphia Eagles. Not to mention, the Patriots could use some help in the secondary. I love Christian Gonzalez, but yet we have to see him play a full NFL season. There's still question marks with him in an NFL secondary because he played 4 games last year. If he is what he's supposed to be, this is going to be a phenomenal secondary. Jonathan Jones is expected to be his right-hand man there, but same thing here for Jones and possibly Marcus Jones. There's still a bunch of question marks in this area, and it's pretty slim after you have both Joneses and Gonzalez. I love Alex Austin. I think he's been great in OTAs and minicamps, but it's shells, man. It's techniques. It's X's and O's. We have yet to see him really running in those full pads. If he proves to be what he's done in OTAs and minicamp, then shit, we may not need to go trade for a cornerback. But here's the thing, too. They're really young. This whole team is more on the young side. So the Patriots could add a veteran in the secondary just to make sure if you're going to add somebody in the depth chart, it's a guy that's been around for a while. He understands the system. If he wants to go in when if Gonzalez gets hurt again, that's not a bad option, knowing you're not going to go from Gonzalez to Austin, which is two, once again, very inexperienced guys in the NFL. I do think Bradberry would immediately add some veteran leadership to the locker room into Jerod Mayo's secondary. And he's under contract through 2025. So it wouldn't be a huge pickup for the Patriots if they take on this contract for one more year. Honestly, I would only sign James to a one-year contract just because he is over 30, just because you're not really sure how the secondary does look with Christian Gonzalez in it for a full season. And the only reason why the Philadelphia Eagles would be open to something like this is because they just drafted 2 cornerbacks. So now they're trying to look to revamp their own secondary. So they ended up moving Bradberry to the safety position, just try to get him more reps and see how that's going to go to fit in with the Eagles secondary. So there may not be room for him right now. Well, thankfully the Patriots could always bolster their depth chart and could make room for him. And it wouldn't take too much to bring him to the Philadelphia Eagles, to bring him to the New England Patriots. I would give a 2025 6th-round pick for James Bradberry. Not terrible, but I do know a lot of Patriots fans out there are still holding out hope that Stephon Gilmore is going to make his return to the New England Patriots. But overall, I think Gilmore may end up going back to the Cowboys. So I'm going to lean on Bradberry just for now, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Pick one to come back to the New England Patriots for this year. Type SG for Stephon Gilmore. Type JB for Bradberry to have his first time playing for the Patriots. And our last blockbuster trade is going to be Walker Little. I cannot go through this whole video not talking about a possible left tackle filler for the Patriots. I like a core for. I think he's fine, but he could not be a long-term position here at that left tackle. Little is currently the second-string left tackle for the Jaguars, right behind Cam Robinson, which the Jaguars have also been open to possibly accepting a trade for Cam Robinson. But I want to talk about Little here just for a moment. When I'm doing my research and I'm looking next to Robinson and Little, obviously Robinson is a better left tackle, but Little's not that far behind him, which is why I think having a cheaper guy could be a better option. His PFF overall grade, 58.8. Left tackle snaps was 521 last season. His PFF pass blocking grade was 62.6, and he only allowed 2 sacks last year at that left tackle position. And like I said, he's cheaper and he's younger than Robinson, which is why I think the Patriots should possibly make some kind of offer here for Walker Little rather than Cam Robinson. I'm okay with either, but I want to look at this as a different angle because you got to look at the reliability as well. 14 games played last year for Little and only 9 games played last year for Robinson. Why? 4 games due to suspension, 4 games due to injury. So Little had to step up. Even if you still want to go with a core 4 at your left tackle 1, that's fine. You can put Little, who's an experienced left tackle 2, in the back half of that. So I do think that is why I would possibly end up trading for somebody like Little rather than Robinson. But don't get me wrong, Robinson's still a great left tackle. And if the Jaguars are actually open to trading him, then yeah, the Patriots should take that call. But it's not the only option that's out there in the NFL right now. Which leads me to my 4th and last trade idea. You give up a 2025 6th-round pick. Nothing crazy. You can honestly even negotiate that with the front office. I mean, who am I? I'm just a host. I'm not a GM. So in reality, Walker Little would come to the Patriots, possibly end up being the backup for a core 4. He could possibly compete with a core 4 for that starting left tackle position as well in training camp. And the Jags, well, they get a draft pick. But this goes all the way back to my first point I made in this video. I don't think Jerod Mayo has made his stamp in New England just yet because there hasn't been anything that solidifies he's here. Let's start this era off right. What does Jerod Mayo need to do to put his stamp on New England? Let me know what you guys think. Is it a blockbuster trade? Is it winning 7 games? Is it making Drake May the quarterback 1 during training camp? Let me know what he needs to do for you guys to think, wow, the Bill Belichick era is finally over and Mayo is here.